So today we heard probably the best thing if you are on the side of you want a WNBA season to happen. We have probably heard the best possible thing. And that is that the players appear to have conceded on gross revenue. So right here you can see Kelsey Plum, first VP of the WNBPA. I want to play and players want to play. Obviously, we're going to continue to negotiate and do everything possibly can to get this done in timely fashion, but obviously a strike would be the worst possible thing for both sides. She added, because we're in a revenue share system, so no revenue means no revenue to share. And that's one of the things people are like, oh, but like they're not in a rev share, they didn't get the gross revenue. No, they're still getting their 70% net rev. Like, which by the way, I don't think people understand how much money 70% net rev is. Like that is still, like you might, if the league booms, like you still might literally see like their salaries double. Their salaries genuinely double. But at the end of the day, like a net rev is still serious money. So obviously here says Kelsey Plum said achieving a revenue sharing system is something the players have fought really hard for and is a significant win. Yes. Like this is the first time we've seen it. And this is something that Robin Lundberg has been saying. That and even said it. Even I think it was ESPN said it. It might have been Alexa Philippou. I'm not 100% sure. And they were like, I'm talking about the WNBA, and they're like, this was in the like fans are turning on players, or was it Rebecca Lobo? It might have been that basically said, when it comes down to it for the players, is like the players should be celebrating the wins rather than calling it lipstick on a pig or a slap in the face about what not getting exactly what they want. They should be talking about the wins, and the players have had a huge win. There is an uncapped revenue share, or sorry, it's not uncapped. It's uncapped, and there is no target. So previously, they had a quote unquote revenue share from previous years. But the thing is with those previous years is that if they didn't hit a certain revenue target, they made $0. There's no target anymore. With there not being a target anymore, the players are in a really good position. So they have guaranteed money. And they've got guaranteed money, which is huge. I don't think people realize how important the guaranteed money is. It says even if players agree to a net rev share system, Plum says the goal could be to continue to negotiate with the expense credits as the league gets. So yeah, like the players are going to agree to a net rev system. Like it is literally we're not budging on gross rev, and now it's even if they agree, if we agree to run a gross rev, we're going to keep negotiating. It's like, yeah, do that. But like the gross rev thing was something that we're never going to get. I do personally think that the league might make some concessions. Kelsey Plum sounds like someone who wants to get the deal done. I said my tweet is, realistically, the biggest sign of CBA will be agreed soon. She's absolutely right. Guaranteed net rev, no target, still a win. And the show continued growth, no doubt, be able to gross rev in the next CBA. Ending the momentum guarantees it'll never happen. Which is true. Ending the momentum, translation, they ain't striking and it's going to be net revenue. Expense credits, a wild term, what it means, yada, yada. Since everyone seems to be in New York, I think they might have some sort of closed door meeting between the league and the PA. I think at these meetings, having 50 plus players in a meeting isn't helpful for anything. Deal be done soon. They're going to accept net rev or have already. Yeah, like accepting net rev isn't a bad thing. What they've gotten is that they no longer have to accept a net rev system that has a net rev system that has a comeback, or say that has a non-guarantee. They now have a guarantee for net rev. And the thing is, when it comes down to net rev, look, I don't think the league are cooking the books. I actually don't think the league are cooking the books. If we're being real here, I don't know why they're not showing some of the books, at least to the PA accountants. It should be a thing. I actually don't think the league are cooking the books, because let's be real, if the league were cooking the books, there would never be anything to do with a revenue split. They would give the players whatever the fuck they want. They would give the players whatever they want in terms of salary and everything, just to not go with the net rev split. Just to not go with a rev split, because if you're going to have a rev split, someone has to see the books. And they've said, they've been open the whole time. I actually don't think the league are cooking the books. At the end of the day, the players in league are in a really good position long term. They're in a really good position long term. If the season starts on time and all this bullshit is over with, and they sign a CBA for another couple of years, we are in a situation now where the next season doesn't really matter. Everyone's like, oh, everyone's just going to sign 1-year deals. Like, it's going to be bad. Like, it's going to be a weird season. Like, does that matter? It means everyone's playing on fucking expiring contracts. And like, if I'm a WNBA player and I'm not a superstar, I'm not signing a 1-year deal. I'm signing a long-term deal because I'm sorry, these college players are taking your damn spot in the league. Like, I don't think people realize how young the city, like how long like these young players are so much better. They're so much better. And it's not like a thing where, like Alexi Brown, where she was talking about basically that the teams would keep end-of-the-bench vets and send young players overseas. No. Teams are going to keep young players. Teams are going to keep young players, develop young players. They have 14 roster spots, and there's a soft cap. So, no, teams are not going to have end-of-the-bench vets. Maybe dumb teams like the Fever are going to. And by the way, the Fever off-season free agency might have been the worst free agency of any team. In hindsight, it might have been the worst of any team. Like, they literally might have given up Sanaya Rivers for a 1-year rental of Sophie Cunningham. They might have given up they paid Katie Lou to leave and replaced her with nobody. Because had they just kept Katie Lou, I think they might have still had their 12th roster slot. And they bought out Katie Lou for no reason. Like, there was weird things they did. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, at least we're talking coming into the season, we're talking about what players are going to do. And at the end of the day, they have got themselves in a really, really good position. A really, really good position when it comes down to it. For the revenue split, they've gotten good revenue sharing. And by the way, like, the league originally offered like a 3.75 million salary cap, and they've already got that up to 5.6 million. And my prediction is that it's still going to be closer to 7 million. My prediction is it's going to be closer to 7 million when it's all said and done. That would be my guess. That being said, look, you just never know what's going to happen in the grand scheme of things. You never know what way these things are going to be are going to play out. And the fact is that we have got 8 more days, and the likelihood of this getting signed the next 8 days is high, like in the 70 to 80% range, considering the fact that it sounds like they've conceded on net rev, on the gross rev versus net rev, and that was the biggest sticking point. The league, a lot of other things, the league conceded, people are saying, we have to talk about so many other things. The league conceded on almost everything. And that's one of the big things for the players that people also don't realize, is that like the league conceded on so many things just because of the consistent gross revenue. And I think if the players sign something, they get a 7 million salary cap, keeping their net revenue and all their extra things they get on the side, I think it's a huge win. They've done an unbelievable job negotiating. They might double what the league wanted to pay them initially. They might get a guaranteed net rev split, which the league didn't want to. They're getting housing back. They're getting all these other things that I'm like, they actually, like, this is, and it's funny because of the way social media works and the players like Natasha Cloud that are like, oh, we're not budging, we're not moving. No matter what happens, it's going to seem like it's a loss on social media, even though they've actually have negotiated themselves into a huge win. They've done a really, really good job negotiating. Like, they have done a fantastic job.